My dear children of light, there is some knowledge which we have to find because man has been made not to just go along with this some kind of physical life which has been given to him and that he may go on whatever it is. But man is doer. No other species of life has been given any such like authority to do. There are so many species of life in this world you see, but they are living their physical life. They are not helpful to each other. They cannot do anything for themselves even. 10,000 years back, if there is history of horse or a cow or a goat or sheep, they are living the same. They have not improved anything. They could not feel anything that they can work for them or for their children or for their other relatives or friends. And for future also we will not feel that they will make any improvement in their lifestyle. Because this tendency has also not been given to them. But in the man, some rulership has been given that you are to do. And this tendency has also been given that you are to do. But the thing is that you find that you are driving the car. You know very well how to drive the car. But your child also sometimes takes the seat of the driver and begins to work and feels like working on the car. Then you take him aside. No, you are not. You cannot. You are not yet capable for this purpose. You are only just to grow up. And then when you are really ready to work as driver, well trained, then you can. And if the child, luckily, unluckily maybe, can switch on the car and just as the car begins to move, what will happen? It will be great disasters because child doesn't know how to control the system of the car and the machinery will be no more, other passengers will be no more, he will also be no more. First deserve and then desire. That we have to act but in some kind of knowledge and wisdom, and when we are really able to work, then we should work and we are to work. It is not that we are not to work, but after having qualified. In Indian mythology it has been explained that the life of the man has been divided into 4 parts, taken the life as of 100 years normally. Now the life has gone little less, but previously, some 100 years back, it was sometimes more than 100 years, sometimes less than 100 years, and the people had been taking the life of the man on average 100 years. So they divided it into 4 parts. First part is 25 years from the childhood, only to learn. What to learn? Some kind of professions. What kind of professions you can say? To be doctor, to be engineer, to be businessman, to be any other thing. But my dear, this man is so much big, so great, that he is not to be confined to one trade, to one profession, and that he has to know everything, and that he may be able to do everything. This is also difficulty. If there is a king, the king is also to be dependent upon some doctor or engineer or a businessman or his ministers who are well educated, who have got different professions, who guide the king. And sometimes if there is a good guidance, ministers are good and they are all devoted to the king, then the king is really successful. And that if his workers are not good, not well trained, not useful, then the king becomes unsuccessful. Now the success of the king is not dependent upon his own self, but upon his workers. Then still it is dependent. Then what should be the king? He should be knowing everything and having all competency, and he needs nothing, and that he can maintain. Sometimes we find in this world that there are kings who had been conquerors for some time, and after some time they are no more, they are down. What was the reason? The reason can be both, that the king might have lost his own powers, or the support which is there. But if the king is really always in full power and is not dependent upon any help of his armies or ministers and can manage himself, then he will never go down. He will always remain the king. And the histories of this world are lacking only this thing, that the people did not know that who is to be king, who is to be a doctor, who is to be engineer, who is to be a businessman. That no one is who is perfect. King is not perfect king. A good doctor is not perfect doctor. A engineer is not perfect engineer. And anybody in this world of any profession is not perfect. There are some difficulties and problems and drawbacks and weaknesses in everybody. That if there is a father, the father has his own problems and difficulties and negativities, bad habits. And what he can tell to his children, that not to do this, not to do that, do this, do that. When the father himself is having no knowledge, no wisdom, that he does everything which is not to be done, then what will be the fate of the family? This also I had been emphasizing upon you, that my dear, if your parents have not been able to make you souls, it was really the duty of the parents. That master comes later on. But first is the duty of the parents to start with this holy job, to make the man. They should know who has come. What is child? Their child is outer body is dust thou art, and to dust returneth. And what is inside the body, they should know. And what is their duty? They should know that they are not only to nurse the body of the child, and that they are to nurse God in it. If they only nurse the body, then what will happen? That when the body is growing up, the devils will be able to use it. And that person will become more and more an instrument of devil. And the life of the man will be really, instead of making, it will be destroyer. To destroy first his own self, and then to destroy all the family members and also other relatives and friends, and also will be harmful or dangerous to the world and three worlds also which are connected to us. And if our parents would have really of knowledge and wisdom, and they would have known themselves and also would have accomplished themselves, then they would have never felt like leaving you in the lower side. As is the case, that if he is a rich man, this man will always like that his children should be more rich than him. He will never like that his children should be poor persons. If there is a child of a king, he will prepare his child to be a king, never to be a minister, never to lower than him. because he has enjoyed some kind of greatness and he has loved the children. And therefore he would like that children should be one step higher than him if there is possibility, but not one step lower than his own self. And that if our parents, they had not this knowledge and wisdom, and they could not bring us properly, at least if we have found now the secret of life and the way of life, we should start with it. And what was the profession which was to be trained, which was to be given to the children in the first 25 years to become God? That God is everything. God is all knowledge, all wisdom, all competencies, all powers, and all creative power is there in him. Everything he can make or as he likes. This maker power has been given to the man. And this is the positive maker power. And we are only to make something positive, that we may enjoy and others will also enjoy. And if we are doing something, as we had made all these weapons, what is the use of the weapons? To kill others. Is the weapon is there that it will give food to somebody or to water to somebody or some kind of medicine to somebody? The weapons will only are to be used for killing other people. And all those wise people, they have invented very, very most horrible weapons, and still this race goes on to make still more dangerous weapons than other neighbor country had got, so that others may be afraid of us and they are not able to invade us. And we will be able to invade others, and we will be conquerors, and we will be rulers, and we will be controllers. And that is the tendency of both the sides. Of both sides. And in this way, this very, very vicious run or competition goes on. And the world had been in dangers and always having wars, such like casualties are there, and that never had been any peace anywhere, because there is not a real maker that is to benefit all. There is nothing to which can be disturbed. And what is that power? That is God power. Only God power. That is why in this mythology it has been told that in first 25 years they called it Brahma Charya Ashram. That this lifestyle of life in which we are to become God. It was a general procedure of life. It is not, as some people might have been feeling, and that to become saint or to become God realized is not the work of ordinary worldly people. It can be the work of some kind of special people who may leave the world and living in hermits in some forests and live over there and struggle hard, and perhaps they may find a God, and that they may go on with this high kind of life. It is not our business. In the olden days, it was there like that, but that was not really the way which ever God has told when He came in this world Himself to teach the people. At least I have also found that no doubt Lord Christ did not marry. He had no house, and he was just roaming about like renunciates. But he did not teach anyway that you are not to have houses, you are not to have families, you are not to work in this world, or you are to be renunciate if you are to find God and kingdom of God. But only in his sense of devotion, because if he had got married, he would have some responsibility for his family, for his children, and for his house, and for some other relatives and friends, and then he would not have been able to devote so much time for the message which he had got from God to deliver to all who were needing very, very urgently, very, very urgently. And therefore, he did not indulge in this physical worldly life, but nowhere it has been written that we are to be totally renunciated from the worldly life. But while living in this worldly life, it is a normal thing that everybody is to become God, everybody is to become perfect in this world and while living the normal life in our system as we have got. Maybe previous years, centuries, and now there are changes, no doubt. Lifestyle is not the same as before. But in any kind of time, maybe 2,000 years back, 5,000 years back, or 10,000 years back, whatever the life was of the man, there was all provision that everybody had to become perfect. And that after having found perfection, that the man is really grown up, as we find also in this world, that when the children are grown up to age of 20 years, then they are having some kind of business. Up to 20 years, they go on getting some kind of profession, some kind of learning, so that they are having good lifestyle in this world. If nothing is taught to the child and no profession is there, how he will be able to live? This is very hard. So something has to be known, has to be trained, some profession has to be learned, and then it will go along. And the life will be just worthwhile, worth living. But this highest perfection, and which is easiest to find, they think that if there is something which is most useful, and that it serves every kind of purpose, and it is just inexpensive, you have not paid for anything, and other things which are no useful, or very little of use, and they are very expensive, then why to spend our money or time, energy on those things which are hard to find and sometimes impossible even to find? And they are, if we find, they are not really useful, or sometimes more harmful. And then why should not we find that which is totally inexpensive and serves every kind of purpose and is most useful, and we have found it, we have found everything. And that we can enjoy our life, and our families will enjoy, and relatives and friends will enjoy, and there's nobody who is not to enjoy. As in our homely family, our family is enjoying. How they enjoy? Because they love. Service before self. That what other one is to be served, then I may serve myself. And in this way, the family is a very happy family, connected family, and peaceful family. But in the families also, there's not now so much family relation. There's more individuality, selfish motives, that everyone feels like having more for one's own self, and that others should work for him, others should live for him, be at the top only to enjoy. Because this is the tendency of the mind. Everywhere mind is working like that. It will never feel like serving others, but everybody to serve him. That is the tendency, basic tendency of the mind. And if we have only trained minds and made him stronger and stronger, then we have really done something that we have to be suffering. That is, you nourish a lion. The kid is there small and you give it all attendance. When the lion will be grown up, it will eat you up. That is usefulness of bringing up of a lion. But instead, if you bring up a cow, at least it will not eat you up. It will give you some milk instead. It will be useful because you have toiled or labored on something which is useful. Now I am sorry to say, why I am sorry to say, because all we had toiled on something which is to eat us up, to kill us, to destroy us. And we are still depending upon it, that it will be very useful if we have still more connected to it. And that thing which is the maker power of God, doer power of God, sympathetic power of God, which is our friendly, which says that there will be no more sorrows, no more pains, no more miseries, no more diseases, no more death. I am there with you, don't worry. I will take care of you forever, for eternity. That power, we have not understood it. And if we have not understood, then when we will understand? Most of us have already gone through the cream of their life, that they are more than 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And if we have not learnt it up to now, and which is the time which will be more suitable, more useful for this purpose? There is nothing. Because the time which is of the beginning, that is really time of learning. Because once we have learnt, after that we will enjoy. If we have already suffered, let it be for about 60, 70 years, and after 70 years or 80 years we begin to learn something good, some business, some to be doctor, to be engineer or something, businessman, what will the use of it? And that you will not be able to enjoy for a long time. And that time it will be hard also to learn something or to start something afresh, because our body conditions and other responsibilities which are there from our families are so hard that they will demand us very much. We will already be burdened very much. It is only the early age which has been given to us by God, that is our maker time, that we can make ourselves in this time, maybe 20 up to 20 years or 25 years of age. And what we are to be made, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Very, very clear understanding has been given that you want money, you want gold, you want houses, you want some kingdom, you want some food, you want something. Everything shall be added unto you. Everything. I think you would have also gone through in our young age when we were being taught in the school that there was a story of lamp of Aladdin. You know it, some of you? Lamp of Aladdin. That there was a man, his name was Aladdin. He found some lamp. And when he was just looking at the lamp, then he happened to just rub it somewhere on the ground, and there was a devil appeared. And the devil told that, you know that I am connected with the lamp, And when any person disrupts the step, I am appearing, and if there is any service for me, I am ready for you. We told, okay, I want some food, I am already hungry. Food was there, what do you want more? I want some house. House is there. Now what do you want more? I also want a wife. And wife was also there. That anything he was demanding from the devil, it was available. Because these devils are pertaining to the causal planes, and they have got control on this material world, astral world. The lower worlds are there under the control of those who are indwellers of the higher worlds. This is bad luck for us that we have only recognized ourselves as bodies. And there is nothing lower than the body on whom we can have any control. There are some, the goats and sheep, the mouse, the cat, rat, these are there. But they are also not so much lower than us. They are only in little category lower than us, but not really our slaves or on which we can rule in any way. Because they are also bodies, they also have flesh, blood and bones bodies as we have got. So we can use them, but not really. We cannot really rule them, control them. And that when we go higher, then we can control the lower ones. And that we have not learnt. Now if this Aladdin could use this devil, and devil was working for him, and he could find everything in this world, why cannot we use not one devil, but millions of devils will be under our control when we will go to kingdom of God? That is not only the things of this world that you will be able to have control. Everything. All these things shall be added unto you. All the things of all the creation of Lord God will be at your disposal. And that will be positive work. Because when we are working with some negative powers, they will only be able to hurt us, as there are so many people in this world who are doing something wrong, hard. They are dacoits, robbers, killers, gamblers, or drunkards, and they are creating some fuss here and there in the families. They are disturbing families, their jobs, they are disturbing their jobs, etc. Wherever they are doing something hard, wrong. Because there is something in them which is working, which cannot do anything good, which will only do something bad. Where there is dirt, it will only go on giving bad odor, and it will not give any fragrance, because it has no fragrance. It is only with the flowers that they will not be able to give any bad odor, will not be able to pollute the atmosphere, and will only bless the atmosphere which you will enjoy over there. So these two powers are there in this world, and this second and lower power, negative power, is ruling all the three worlds. And all the three worlds are in what hard, dangerous condition. And everybody is in danger, everybody is feeling hard, problems, troubles, worries and sufferings. Everybody has got. And what is the reason of it? The reason is we ourselves. I cannot even say your destiny even. Because we can make or change anything. Our destiny and our relatives and friends can be changed. All the world can be changed. All the three worlds can be changed by us with the power of God which is in us. And we just come in contact with the kingdom of God, and everything will be accomplished in our favor. There is nothing which can be of any trouble or problem for us. It means if I have only gone to my enemies, and that I am now very much complaining that these enemies are troubling me, killing me, and are really making me very hard and hard. Then our sympathizer or our friend will ask, why did you go to them? This will be the question to us. If you are suffering from those, then why do you go to them? Come back from them and go to this side, to your family, to your sympathizers, and to your friends, and then tell me if there is any difficulty or any problem. Now God has told us, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Everything will be wonderful. You will enjoy. All the things of the three words will be, all the angels will be there with you. All the devils will also be serving you in their own category, lower kind of services. They will not be able to be of any harm to you. And I will also be there for you and to help you. If there is anything wrong anywhere, I have control, I have power, I will control everything for you, that everything is working for your good and for your benefits. And then if we now even complain to God, my dear God, please save us, this is there, this hardship is there, this problem is there, this disease is there, and this one is my very hard enemy, this brother, sister, or so many people are there, they are hurting me, what should I do? Then God will only question us that what I have told you, why do you go to this side? Why don't you obey me, what I told you, go this side? And everything will be wonderful. That we have done no answer to God. That He has now told us that this is the way where you will be able to enjoy, and this is provided to you, this is given to you. We also cannot deny that kingdom of God not is with us, and God is also not with us, and that this information that seek the first kingdom of God and all these things shall be added unto you is also told to us. And Master is also there, and that He is there to develop this connection, to reunite us with the same power from which we have been disconnected due to some reasons, and that if we did not accept these guidelines of God, which are plenty available, and still that we have caused our sufferings, then nobody is responsible, nobody is there that we can go and complain. And that we have just killed our own selves. That if I am given wonderful food, and somewhere I go and buy some poison and begin to eat poison, and then I complain to that friend that I am suffering this way, that way. Then he will try to find what is the reason. I have given you nice food. And when he will go there, he will find that there is all food lying over there. It has not been touched. And there is some poison which is lying on the side, and that has been used. Then he will at once tell that I have not given you poison. Poison you have arranged, and that this food which is really for you, that is there in you, and that you have enjoyed. God says that I have arranged everything in you. If you go inside, tell me if there is anything wrong, and that if there is anything wrong, till we are not out of the region of the control of negative power, that up to the region of the Brahman, causal plane, there is control of negative power and it can hurt us. It can create some misunderstanding or some difficulties and problems. But Master takes seats in everybody when he initiates anybody, only for the purpose that my child, which is not vigilant, which is not so active, not so strong, will be again deceived and cheated by the negative power, and it is I who can control it. And therefore, this is holy Simran charged with the power of God is also given to you, that whenever you are meditating or not meditating, go on with the Simran, go on with the Simran. And when you are going along with the Simran, God power will be flowing in each cell of your existence, body, mind, and intellect. And around you also there will be some kind of area which will be all charged with God power, and negative power will be kept away, far and far, far and far away. As you will go on getting stronger in your Simran, its field will be stronger and area of field will also go on extending more and more, and till at some time it may spread in the whole of the world, and whole of the world will be benefited, that the negative power in the whole of the world will not be able to touch anybody, or if it has some effect, very little. And if all the people of this world begin to work in this defensive arrangements of the Holy Simran and the inner holy light and sound, then there will be totally no more interference of or any kind of interference of the negative power. And the man will be totally in God, because God is already there. It is only that God is covered with the negative power, and when negative power is driven away, then God is discovered and it will begin to work, and then you are God. I and my Father are one. And this life was to be started from the very beginning, and that we would have never suffered from the childhood if we are with God and negative power is kept away. Then what is the reason that anybody is to suffer? Whole of the life is guaranteed. As you go to the life insurance companies, they say that they will insure your life, but really they cannot, they could not. What they do, they insure your death, that now you have paid the first premium and now you are allowed to die. And we will pay $20,000 to your nominees which we have selected, to your family, not to you. Then it is only your family who has got benefit out of your death, but you could not find any benefit out of it. What they done to you then? Nothing there. Because in this world there is nothing which can do anything good to us. I am very much sorry to say, because you love your brothers and sisters and family members and feel that they are of help to you. But my dear, this is not really help. In the long run, it is really a great bondage. Thing is there, you can understand that if there is a child of a king and he is taken away by some friend who is a poor person, and that they both are living in that poor person's house, and they are going along, and whole of the life they go along with hard labor. But if the child would have kept his own family relation with his father, what great he would have been, wonderfully would have enjoyed also over there. That it means that this boy which was friend, he was saying that this is a very nice friend, very wonderful friend, and he has shared all his house, all his property, all his love, and all service is there, and that such a good friend I have got. But my dear, no doubt, the friendship of the friend is nice, but friend has got nothing, only suffering, only very little. And you have to find the friend which is really friend, much better friend, but have got everything and all competition is with you, and that then you are wise to choose some good friend. This is the way. I don't say that all these family members, all the worldly relations or worldly positions are not friendly to you, but they are only working under the control of negative power, and if you use them, we will always be under the control of the system of negativity, and everything will be twisted upside down. Everything will. What you give to somebody, that will also be debted to you. That will also be debted to you. Why did you give to somebody? It was mine. It belonged to me. You had no authority to give anything to anybody. And if you take something from somebody, that naturally it will be debted to us. Any service, even of the parents, they are not free. They are also accounted in the accounts of the negative power. Because something is shown to us that everything is okay, you can enjoy it, you can go on having it, don't worry about anything. But in the end, a great bill, 99.99 pounds or dollars. The bill is there, and then you look at the bill, long bill. And you look at the pocket, nothing is there. Then what you will do? You will say sorry, but the sorry will not work. They say, okay, come on and wash our clothes, clean our houses, clean the restaurant, clean the utensils, and become our slaves and go on working till this payment is over, and that you are allowed it when your payment is over. But still we have got a habit of eating more, using more, and working less. And you go on increasing your debt. Instead of that, you pay off debt and get rid of the debt. You are still getting more and more into debts. And there is no hope that ever we can get rid of this debt. And this is the trick of the negative power. It goes on giving you, go on using, go on enjoying, go on enjoying, go on giving. And we are enjoying it. But everything which we enjoy from anybody or from this world, that is not allowed to us. We are allowed to enjoy this world, enjoy everything of this world, but after having got connection with kingdom of God and God, that this negative power is no more to trick you, and that it has been controlled by the God power that you are only to serve my child. You cannot trick my child. You cannot do anything wrong to it. Serve him, serve him. And when he serves us himself, and he orders and controls everything of this world to serve us, then everything is wonderful. Then everything is wonderful. That you are not deprived of anything of this world. Have your friends, have your family, have your businesses, have your all relatives and friends, and enjoy. There is no difficulty. But it is only possible when we first come in contact with the kingdom of God and God. That's why these instructions have been given to you. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. Don't use anything of this world. Don't eat anything of this world. Don't feel anything that anything belongs to you. First, get connected to your kingdom, which is called kingdom of God, and God is also there. And after having got established this connection, then afterwards there will be all guidance and that will offer to you that you are to enjoy in this world under the control of God power. And then you can go along. Then there will be no difficulty, no problem. If you have got family, family will be peaceful. If you have got any job, it will go on working nicely. And there will be no problem, worries or diseases or some other kind of difficulties. Because all will be taken care of by a power which is friendly to you and which is real. That is the main difficulty, that in this world there is no one and there is nothing which is in our favor. No one is friend, no one is our family member, nobody belongs to us. Everything and everybody is a cheater because they come to us in the garb of a friend, but they have daggers in their sleeves. And when you take them as friends, they find a good chance to stab you, and you are easily stabbed. And that is the reason that we do not only suffer in this world, but we also suffer later on really horribly, very, very horrible, long, long times. Due to the reason that all this world, which is from negative power, we have believed it that it is our friendly. And that we could not know that our friendly power is the only in us. And that if we have not made that friendly power our friend, and that outer world is we are taking as friend, we will not be benefited. We will mar our life. This is a way of destruction which we have, no doubt, 100% adopted in misguidance. It's misunderstanding that we have not known the reality what is going on, and we have not tried to go through the digest of the teachings of the masters, which are real ones, which are really useful ones. And that I have not come to you to give anything from the Eastern mythology, talking to you from Bible. And that what Bible says, that if we have been able to understand, and if we have been able to do with our lifestyle accordingly, have we found the way of life? The two ways have been given to you, that enter ye in at the straight gate, because straight is the gate, narrow is the way that leads to life. And perhaps few shall be there who will find it. But broad is the gate, outside world, and wide is the way that leads to destruction. And so many will be there who will find it. And we are so many who have found it and expect that we will live and will enjoy. But never, never. It had not been, it is not, and it will not also be. And that we should know it, we should understand it. But how you will understand? When you will wake up your inner setup of your soul. Because soul is only the agency which can understand what is from God, what is from the Master. Mind, body and intellect has only been given to give us misunderstanding. My Master asks you to give the example that what is the duty of the mind, what is mind like. He was telling the story of some ancient, not ancient, but sometimes back when there was ruling of English people in India, there was some kind of actions going on against this, against slavery, and for getting independence. And there was a saintly person who was going along with very active part in it. And the government had put some of his CID, inspector of police, to watch the activities And that man was so tricky and so wise that he was so much devoted, so much loving, and so much connected that he was accepted in that organization of that saintly person at the top. So there were some very, very secret meetings which were going along that the government may not come to know and they may not be put into some hardship. And what they are to act, some secret things may be kept on. But every secret which they had been going along, it was open. And government was knowing. And then we again collecting, what is the reason that all of secrecy is opened up? And who is there among us? If there were 5 or 6 persons in the secret, some other person was sometimes suspected. But this person who was the main source of disclosing the secrecy was never suspected because he was winning such confidence that nobody could feel like that he can be the source of the disclosure of the secrecy. Rather, he was considered that he is the topmost secret person and dependable and believable person. However, after some time, the file was complete and that man was sentenced to be exiled to some place which are also reserved over there. And that now this person which was very much tricky, he was police inspector from CID and was misunderstood to be the best kind of believer, to be believable person, was then asked by that saintly person, my dear, at least I hope that you would go with me. That if other people do not like to go with me, or I also do not feel like to be comfortable with other ones, at least I believe you that you will like to suffer with me anywhere I am, and that I will believe that you will do everything good for me. And then that man was smiling at him and showed him the identity card. I am not your believer and you are not to believe me. If you have believed me, you have misunderstood me. I was deputed by the government as a CID inspector from police only to watch your activities. My work was to send you on exile. I am not to go on exile. I have done my duty so wonderfully, so nicely, so cunningly, and I have been successful and you have been unsuccessful, you have been deceived. With this example, my master was explaining the duty of the mind. Our mind is totally 100% so friendly to us that we have only felt like that only our mind, what it dictates, that is true, and what it dictates, to believe in this world. In all this materialism, all this money, all this brothers and sisters, family members, or relatives, or friends, and other business, and go on working day and night on this situation, and you will go on wonderfully. Everything will be okay. But everything is horrible, most horrible. And when we will come to know it, in the end, when this game is finished, the life is finished, and then we will come to know where we have been stuck up, in what horrible situation, and when we will be sentenced to be put into the hell. How horrible, how hard hells are there. The word hell also is something to tell us what hell can be. But there is no example in this world which can explain you what is in hell. When people go into hell, only then people will know what is hell. The same case is there also with God. that when we go to God and kingdom of God, then only we come to know how wonderful, how great, how nice, how friendly, how real is God, wonderful is there. So we have not really learned anything in this world, how to live in this world. If we have learned, we have been taught something opposite, taught something negative. How it is possible that you will be able to live with some negative information? That if your home is to the west, and you are told your home is to the east, this side, then how you will reach home? How will you reach your family? Where you will find comfort? Where will you find something which will belong to you? You will be in the wilderness. You will suffer only. This we are to know from where? From our inside. First, from the Master, I am still sorry to say you that you have to believe the Master. You have to believe of necessity. It's not for me that I will be great. If you believe me that I have so many initiates, what that benefit to me? If I have no initiate, what I have lost? I have my own family, my own income is there, and I am retired from my government job and have my own house, and I can live nicely, wonderfully in this old age. Why should I suffer here and there? Why should I run after you? What for I am after you? What I have to get from you? Nothing. And that I am only running only for you, because I have love and sympathy for you and wanted to take you out of the very horrible culture of mind and matter, and that you are connected to God. You are placed in the lap of your mother, in the lap of your father, and in your own home, and take out from the house of the butcher, who is only to kill you. Although he gives you something, green food, green fodder also to you, and you are very happy. But after having given green fodder to you, then he will cut you also and eat you also. So my dear, this is a great injustice which is we are undergoing, great injustice. And that we have accepted it. This is a great misery. That a person who is hard upon us, we don't like, but he becomes so friendly to us that first he becomes our friends, and after that, when we are really in his control, then he is really hard. This is very hard for us to understand at the level of mind and intellect. But the Master is there to guide you, to protect you, to help you, and if you go on with this instructions of the Master, and this life has been given to you only for this purpose. If you love me, keep my commandments, Master has declared it. And in this life, if you have to live only with the instructions and guidelines and of the Master. There's nothing else which is there useful to us. And if we have found the guidelines and have tried to go along with this, every help will be there, that you reach the destination and you are not stuck up anywhere. And Master really promises, commits to you that I will now leave thee till you are one with God. That Master takes the seat with the soul of the initiate and then leave the soul of the initiate till it is one with God. That in the way there is still some possibility that this great horrible cheating power of negativity will still may steal away, may misguide the child. So he is always on duty, always at watch. And that when the child's soul is taken and assimilated, made one with God, then he feels like now it is safe. And when we are really safe, our future is safe, and that we are always to enjoy for eternity, then the master is feeling like that I have done my duty, and then he has done his duty, and you also have to feel what is your duty towards your master. If there is some duty of you, of the child, towards the parents, there is something that parents have to give something. My child have it, eat it. Child is to accept, not to deny it. Child is to do something which is told by the parents. Child has to go to that direction which is directed to the child. Go this direction, child has to go to that direction, there will be no problem. But when the child uses one's mind, then there is a problem. In the same way, you are not to do anything, my dear, what your mind dictates. First, you are to go along with the dictates of your master, because that is the only way in which we are to live in this world. There is no other way. And that we are to comply with his instructions, and then we are safe. And when we comply with his instructions, then he is really responsible. That if there is any difficulty or problem, then he will be bad named, and that he will not lose the trust of the child's soul. Because it happens like that your father says to the child, and that, my dear child, go this here and do this work over there. And if you are having some difficulties or problems and sufferings over there, then you will feel like that my father has sent me in some place where I am to suffer. But when the father has sent the child, then he will always take care what is the condition of the child, and what is difficulty, what is problem, and that where there is any difficulty or problem, he will take care of that. And if your father has told you that open this business, and you have opened it, he will take care of it. He will daily go to you and ask you how your business is going on, what any difficulty, any problem, because he had told you something, and you have followed him, and now it becomes his responsibility that this business does fail, and this business goes on easily. There are no problems, there are no difficulties, and you are going along easily. That when you comply with the instructions, then this is the responsibility of the father. But when you do your own way, your own business, and don't consult any relative, friend or family member, then they will not be responsible. They will not take care of you. Rather, sometimes they will condemn you that why didn't you consult them? Beforehand, you are raw hand, you do not know what to do, and we would have guided you with our lifelong experience, what is good, what is not good. And then they will really scold you also, and you will have to know that you have done something wrong, and for that wrong you have to suffer. So my dear, this is something unfailing. What is unfailing? The instructions of the master. Because it is not from mind or body or intellect, because all these are working at second-hand information, or only just from inferences that somebody has done this work and he has suffered, and don't do it. That it is not basically truth. But what Master says is basically truth, that the sun may not be there, it may go black, all the oceans may burnt away, and all the mountains may melted away, and everything is changed. But this, what is told by the Master, will never change. It is eternal, it is truth, which can never change and had never been changed. Even those scriptures which have been written 5,000, 10,000 years back did not change. Even now they are standing in the same truth as 10,000 years back, because all what the Master says is of the level of the unchangeable permanence, and that it will remain forever, for eternity. And that is there with you. God is eternal, kingdom of God is eternal, and you are also as soul eternal, and this relation is also eternal. And what is changing, what is not dependable, believable, that you are not to depend upon, that you will control. That any change which is to occur, that will be in your control, and nothing can happen, nothing can change, nothing can be done which is not in your favor, which is not to be controlled by you. And therefore everything, as God is very less, everything going along wonderfully. And that if we also go along with His instructions, which are there available through the Masters, then we will also enjoy the same thing. What we are suffering, it is due to our own misunderstanding which we have created, and follow the mind. Follow the mind and follow the word and worldly people, we are suffering. Follow the Master and his guidelines, and all will end, which is suffering, cause of suffering, and you will enjoy forever, for eternity. Just the moment you accept it, there is a change. Just you turn from the darkness towards the sun, at once there will be some light to you. You will not find darkness. If you go more and more towards the light, the sun, it will go on increasing, my dear. So things are very clear, very clear. But how long it will take to you to change? How long it will take for you to change? Very quickly it is to be done, just in the moment. That just you are closing your eyes, nothing is there. Open your eyes, everything is there. So open your inner eye and everything is wonderful. But we have only opened our outer eyes, which are only for our illusion. And it will only begin to work positively when our guidance from the inner eye is there, that these eyes will not be able to delude us, and negative power will not be able to cheat us due to our ignorance of the mind and intellect. And all knowledge and wisdom which is at the level of soul, in power of God, will begin to work. So this is, my dear, solution of all the problems as I have found myself from my Master, and I have verified it. And it has been practically given to you. But you are not really as yet in your own self. You are still believing something which are from the mind. But be stronger in yourself with soul, with the meditation of light and sound. So you have been told that you are to try to go along with the meditation up to maybe 10 hours or 12 hours, and that we are here in the house of God. Don't do anything which is not behoving you when you are in the house of God. And that only go on work as per instructions of the Master. Nothing is there to be there, is from the mind. And that you are to go along with your seva, that surface, which is very important. And that will prepare you for the meditations. First do some seva, and then have little relaxation, and then sit in meditation. Seva should also be done with the Simran, or remembrance of the Master, as I told you, that if you are doing some work for some worldly man, and worldly man is looking at you, You will quite strongly work. That when someone is looking at me, who is to pay me. When that man is gone away, you find some shady place and you lay down over there. You know nobody is looking at me. This is way that you do not like to do seva sometimes, that nobody is looking at you. But Master is always having his eyes because he is inside you, looking at. Not looking only at your body, but your mind and also your thinking. And that he will pay you abundantly. And this will also keep you connected to the Master, and negative power will not, our mind will not be able to attack you. And full benefit of your seva will be there. Full benefit. Both ways, that your meditation goes on. What is meditation? When you think of somebody, that is meditation. Even if you are sitting with closed eyes and you are thinking of your family, you are meditating on family, not on God. And that is not your meditation. But when you are doing some seva, and you are thinking of the Master, that Master is there and he is looking at you, these both things are going on. That seva is going on, and your meditation is also going on. That physically you are doing seva, and mentally you are worshipping God, then you are doing your meditations. So that is why the seva is having more benefits, more profits than any other, even more than meditations. And when your meditations have really become meditations and they are really working, then it is really wonderful. Otherwise, seva is more useful. But still I will say that seva is to be done both ways. On one hand, there is seva, and on the other hand, there is meditation. Side by side, you go along. So about 4 hours seva is very much necessary. Maybe about 2 hours at one time in the morning and 2 hours in the evening, or according to the schedule of the sevadas who are there here. You may ask them, and they will give you some timings, and according to those timings you may adjust your seva for about 4 hours, maybe a little more or less, and also adjust your meditations, maybe 10 hours or a little more or less, and that your time is nicely going along under the instructions of the Master, and other things are going on automatically being arranged to you. You are not to worry. So my dear, now all of you may sit in meditations. At least thank you for your presence, that you are here. I am here also here to see you and to find you, dear children of God, and that I am also feeling blessed that you are all so many here, wonderful ones, and that you may also be blessed with the meditations and the seva and other instructions which are there, which I have been given to you. Go along with this and enjoy it.